Good day, gardeners. This is Dick Zondag, the Garden Doctor, and this video is going to be about peat pots, how they can be used, and about starting some of our vine crops early. So we're back in the greenhouse. People have write in and ask how they can get earlier muskmelons and watermelons, because Wisconsin has a very short growing season, and even in areas where you have long growing season, if you want to get earlier melons and earlier cucumbers and any of the vine crops, the thing to do is to start them early in peat pots. And you can get peat pots in many different sizes, from very small like the 2 1/4 inch, and you can get rounds and squares, and this is like the 3-inch round, which is what we're going to use today, and you can get all the way up to the 6-inch rounds. And if you really want to start them early, these are the ones to use. Now, the reason that you use peat pots is that vine crops do not like to have their root systems disturbed when they're transplanted, so you have to be very careful if you're growing them in any other kind of container, so that you don't cut any of the roots, because that will set the plants back, and it may even be that planting seed would be better than that. So what we're going to do, it's about 3 weeks or 4 weeks before we can plant them out. You have to wait with vine crops until the soil is warm. And so what we're going to do this morning is we're going to seed some watermelon, some muskmelon, and some cucumbers, so that we get an earlier crop. So what we do is we fill the peat pots with peat-based soil. If you're going to use a homemade soil, it should be a third garden soil. If you're going to use garden soil, a third sand and a third compost or peat moss. And to that you can add a fertilizer called Osmocote, which gives a little bit of fertilizer out every time that you water. We added a slow release fertilizer to this soil, so we didn't have to add the Osmocote. So what we're going to do is we're going to have labels so that we know which seeds we're planting, and we plant 2 or 3 seeds in each of the peat pots, so that we make sure that we get a couple of plants from each peat pot. So we're going to start doing that. We're going to speed up the tape a little bit so that you don't have to watch me do this. So we have our vine crops planted now. We have 2 labeled and 1 backup because they're going to be going into our test plot. We're hoping that we have some seedlings showing in a week or 10 days. We'll come back and show you the progress on them. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. And if you have any other ideas on things that you'd like the Garden Doctor to do a video on, please put it down in the comments. We're looking forward to a great crop of muskmelons and cucumbers and watermelons this late summer. This is Dick Zondag, the Garden Doctor.